Hello everyone, Johnny Mind here, and today we are starting a new Let's Learn Japanese with series, which is Metroid II, Return of Samus. To be completely honest, and as mentioned in the previous part, since we are actually playing it, we are starting this immediately after the end of the previous series, for those watching live. I'm not sure if we'll actually see any Japanese writings being a Game Boy game, but we of course still wanted to play this game anyway, considering that it makes sense before playing later Metroid games, story-wise, and also something that I didn't mention before in the previous stream. I've actually played it on my own on 3DS Virtual Console, but didn't finish it. So yeah, it will also be a nice occasion for me to finally do so. Of course, just like for the first Metroid, the Famicom one, I'll keep open a guide, in particular the maps, because yeah, again, in this game, we still don't have the maps, so yeah, we'll do that. And yeah, without further ado, let's start it. And yeah, let's actually get to it, and yeah, it's here. Before starting the game itself, let's comment the box art. Technically, written strictly in Japanese, we only have Metroid, of course the name of Metroid in Japanese. Notice, as a reminder, that it becomes from Metroid, it becomes Metroido. And so yeah, we have these additionals O after the To and the Do, after the T and the D, I should say, to make To and Do. That's because, of course, first and foremost, Japanese doesn't have consonants on their own, apart from the nasal one, and so is forced to add a vowel. Usually said vowel is the U, but in the case of, also considering that it can become barely heard if at all, so then it sounds even more like a consonant on its own. But for the T and the D, you can't actually do that, because if you did that, it would become Tsu and Zu, respectively. You can't even add I, which is another vowel that could make sense, considering that, again, just like is barely heard if at all between unvoiced consonants at the end of a sentence if there's an unvoiced consonant before it. But yeah, you can't even add I, because it would become Tsi or Z. Originally they were simply T, D, Tu, Du. But yeah, because of the further evolution of the language, they became like those. Qi, Ji, Su, Zu. And so, for the T and the D sound, they add O instead. And yeah, that's why we have Metroido, as a reminder. And yeah, after that we have the number 2 in Roman numerals, Most likely, it's simply read as in English, considering that everything else is technically in English. So, tsu, notice again that this, to make tu in Japanese, well, the English word tu in Japanese becomes tsu for the same reason as mentioned before, because, while later they introduced the actual sound tu by writing it as to plus a small u, when they introduced the number 2 from English, in Japanese they didn't have that, so they actually changed it into tsu by using the t plus u combination, but it becomes tsu. I quickly check, even though I think we have seen it before, that its accent should be accented in this case, because the accent can stay on the long vowel mark in this case, and it is accented on, and so on the tsu itself. Tsu, so high, low. And again, as a reminder, the Japanese accent, especially considering that this is the first part of the new series, Japanese accent is a pitch accent, and so it's all a matter of low and high pitch on each mora. Moras are a unit that can be the same as a syllable or smaller. It practically corresponds to the kana symbols, one by one, except for the small ya, yu, yo, and a, u, a, I, u, e, o, which are counted together with the previous one. Everything else, the big ones, regular size ones, small su, so the doubling of the following consonant, the consonant on its own, or all are individual moras. As I said, a matter of pitch, low or high. And the accent on a word is the last mora with a high pitch. Everything else after it is low for that word. And so, in our case, the accent is on the tsu, so high, low. Tsu. Being the same syllable, technically, it's more like it starts high and then goes low, more than being, of course, separate ones. Wanted to mention that since, and there's also the other rule for the Japanese accent, in addition to that, that if the first syllable, the first mora is high, then the second one is low, and the other way around, so low, if it's low, then it's the first one is low, the second one is high. Moras are called haku in Japanese, so beat, which can help remember it better. After that we have, of course, return of Samus in English. Let's quickly go through, since we have already mentioned the pronunciations of the words, also let's quickly check how they become in Japanese, because they're slightly different. They're clearly the English words, but with a Japanese pronunciation because of the limitations of the Japanese language. Return becomes ritan. I'll quickly check it, just to be sure, and also to check the accent, of course. It's ritan. The accent is on the ta, as expected, just like in English. There are some exceptions. We have seen slightly different accents in a different spot, or more often than not, when it's different, the word becomes straight up unaccented. unaccented words in Japanese are, well, apart from the first mora, which is low, everything, all the other ones are high. And even if we attach something after it, usually a particle, then it stays high after that. But yeah, here we have return. Of course, first and foremost, we have well, just like in English, return, even though it's written re, but yeah, in this case they follow the pronunciation more than the writing. And then we have this ta, of course, because Japanese doesn't have the sound the English sound and so it becomes the closest vowel, which is the a, and more often than not also the long vowel. Sometimes it doesn't, but more often than not that's the case. Notice that it's similar to how it's pronounced. Such words are pronounced in English variants then don't have the R sounds. The typical example in British English received pronunciation, car, becomes actually car. So without the R sound, but also the longer vowel. And yeah, that's actually how it works also in Japanese. After that, we have off, of course, which becomes in Japanese obu. You will eventually see it even written in katakana. Here, of course, not, but yeah, they would pronounce it as such usually also in this case. And yeah, actually in this case, they also are closer to the actual pronunciation in this case, because, well, the O is influenced by the writing, of course, because in pronunciation in this case would actually be a schwa. While the bu comes from the fact that of, when not focused, when you don't focus on it, it's actually more of a of. And yeah, so that's why that v becomes bu. Well, Japanese didn't have the v sound at the time, of course, so it becomes the closest one, which is b. And then, of course, they have to add a vowel because consonants can stay on their own, except for n, n. And so, yeah, the usual one in this case, because we don't have the issues with the t and d above. So, bu, obu. And then, of course, we simply have samusu, samus from... just like in English, we only add u at the end, again, for the usual reason that consonant can be found on their own in Japanese, apart from n. And yeah, with that, most likely we have seen everything that there is about the Japanese part of this series, unless there are actually writings in-game, we'll see, I don't know. But yeah, without further ado, we can actually start the game itself. And yeah, as you can already see, we have, well, apart from the music of this title screen, we have the title straight up in English. And also start. Notice that if I press right or left, we have 1, 2, or 3. So actually we have more than one save file, so that's interesting. We'll wait a little here. As I don't know, I straight up don't know that this. If there's actually a story part like in the NES or Famicom version, even though I have doubts. the good news is even either way we can slightly hear more of the title screen music this way. Which is interesting as we got to hear the actual music starts way later as we have just heard. But yeah, I don't think there's actually anything. We wait slightly more, but yeah, then we'll actually start playing the game. Unless, of course, someone knows and can confirm in chat, but yeah. And also we get this flashing, not the best, of course. Won't disturb anyone. But yeah, I think we are getting closer to the loop. Yeah, now that it's fading away, suspect it will then loop or even stay silent. Could be. Oh no, okay, it loops. Yeah, so without further ado, let's actually start by pressing start. And yeah, we get the music. Yeah, here we have our ship. So we actually see it. And we can go inside in this game, as you can see here. So that's funny. Okay, let me quickly open while we're at it. The map. To have it ready. At first it won't be particularly necessary, but yeah, still appreciated. And by the way, of course, as usual, when it comes to the Game Boy games, we are using the Game Boy Color filter. So yeah, playing them as if we were playing them on Game Boy Color. I'm not sure if the option was even available on 3DS. I know for sure I played it, well, not in green, but in black and white. Yeah, this way it's way nicer. As much as it's cool in its own way, yeah. Overall, I still prefer some color. Yeah, by pressing that we can pause. Not that there's particularly much to check so far, because it will be a straight line for now. Okay, yeah, I think, yeah, we have to fall down here. I'll quickly check. Yeah, no, okay, nothing there. As you can see, we can aim. Finally, in this game, not only shoot left or right, but also up and down. And notice that we already have the morph wall. We didn't have to pick it up this time. And we don't have the bombs. So yeah, actually we need the morph wall here already. Yeah, let's jump up. Wonder if the blocks still damage you if you are in the middle of them while they come back. Oh boy. Okay, no. For now, let's avoid. If needed, we'll rewind, but yeah, no. For this, definitely not. We only took 5 damage, and hopefully one of the enemies will give us some energy back at some point. Yeah, like this. Yeah, perfect. I should be more careful though. Okay, yeah, we're going down here. And yeah, here I think we already have our first part. Well, I want to quickly go to the right to show a certain something that's really appreciated about this game compared to the original. And yeah, we actually have save stations. We can save the game properly without having to rely on save states. Well, might make use of them anyway if we really need to stop and the closest save station is too far away. But yeah, we can actually properly save. Yeah, of course, not as fancy as future save stations in future games, but yeah, this is a pretty cool detail that they actually are. They introduced them in this game for those who haven't played it before. But yeah, we are going to the left here. And by the way, another thing that we already have, lucky enough, as you might have noticed, we even picked up a refill before. And you can also see it on the bottom part of the screen. The, of course, is the energy. We got hit and restored it, so we saw it in practice. The other icon is, as you can see, when I press select, I open that, and yeah, we have already missiles, which is what I was mentioning. On the bottom right corner, we have a Metroid icon, and then the number 39, because yeah, unfortunately we didn't get to see it in-game, because there isn't a story. But yeah, the story of this game is that Samus was sent back on the planet to get rid of all the remaining Metroids. And yeah, that will actually be pretty important for later games. And it's also nice since Metroids are actually more important than ever in this game. Yeah, that I'm suspicious. But it's some acid or something else that would hurt us, so yeah, let's avoid it. Already got hurt more than I wanted by enemies by not being careful enough, so let's not get more unnecessary damage. Let's restore at least a little our health. And we should be getting closer and closer here to, as we see, yeah, as you can see here, we have our first Metroid. But yeah, as you can see, they aren't the regular in the regular forms. Oh boy, I have to be careful here while keeping the missiles ready. Okay, yeah, let's actually start properly this time. From the start of the fight, let's keep the missiles open. And yeah, you have to hit the underbelly, so yeah, that's easier said than done. But lucky enough, it takes only 5. At least this form, the easiest form of Metroids. We got this quake going on here. And yeah, with that actually something happened, as you might have guessed. Here, as you can see, we have some items. The one on the left, I don't remember, might be simply something that heals you. I don't remember. Well, the one on the right, of course, is a missile expansion. Or maybe also heals, but yeah, the one on the right is of course related to missiles for sure. But yeah, I don't think we can do anything with those for now. Most likely we'll be back later. Yeah, so I'm actually going to the next map here. And yeah, now, first and foremost, we have to go back to the save station. Good thing, as I wanted to save anyway, that we defeated the first Metroid, of course. Other enemies aren't needed at all. Is the tip that the guide that I'm checking for the maps had. So yeah, unless you have to defeat them, you can and most likely should ignore them. But I'm trying to defeat them, of course, in this case also to restore some health, first and foremost, and hopefully also missiles. Let's see. Okay. Not like that, though. Okay. Apparently this doesn't hurt, but it makes movement more difficult to an extent. Yeah, so we restored some... Yeah, good that we are restoring our health. Okay, so let's continue. Funny enough, in this game, the areas are technically called phases. Because technically there's each phase, each area of destroying the Metroids in its zone. Yeah, here we can simply go in morphal form, of course. And yeah, first and foremost, yeah, we got back to the save. And yeah, we'll save. Okay, from here, we have, of course, to continue to the right now. Yeah, we can't do anything else, as we have seen anyway, so yeah, makes sense. I'm quickly checking, okay, to get an idea, but yeah, it's still relatively easy. Yeah, actually, I think this is phase 1, but yeah, we'll get quickly to phase 2. Yeah, something that I didn't mention is that while this game I've started, this version I started and didn't finish on 3DS Virtual Console, I played the remake on 3DS. So yeah, actually, it's of course that one is way more involved as the new moves and so on. But yeah, the general idea of this start area is the same, so yeah. Okay, let's continue to the right. Yeah, for now it's still linear, but as we'll see, it won't be like this for long. We get more paths and it will become more and more confusing, and yeah, that's why I really like to have a map to not waste also too much time. Even more so considering that we might not see more Japanese in it, but yeah, still wanted to play it. Okay, yeah, that one seems like acid or lava or what? Dangerous. And I actually think in this case, as you can see, it seems to go down. And yeah, I think the next phase is actually down here. Then the phase after the one will enter in a second. And yeah, this is how each area is blocked off. Yeah, there's this liquid. And I'm pretty sure it's harmful, so yeah, don't want to touch it. Definitely it was on the 3DS remake. Okay, yeah, so far we should... so good. I think, yeah, here, soon enough we'll get to the actual split in the path. Okay, thank you for some health. We really needed it, especially before getting to another Metroid. I could use also more missiles, but between the two, yeah, as you can see, there I got damage by touching the liquid. Okay, yeah. And from here we want to go up. Okay, let's continue up here. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that we are it's considered to be low on health, these. So I think the sound in the distance, because we healed at least to an extent, is because we are low on health. And yeah, I'm pretty sure that this is the split in the path shown by the map. We want to go up. Okay, let's repeat this. Ah yeah, as you can see now the sound is gone completely. Ah yeah, apart from of course the the bleeps, but that's the music of this area. But yeah, because we are above a certain threshold, seems to be 50. Now we've even. Okay, yeah, we have one of these, which is the typical enemy spawner to restore your health in these earlier games, but also later ones. But yeah, in later ones there are also proper actual ways to heal without these. Kind of annoying while having to. Okay, let me quickly check. Okay, now we should continue to the right and see a certain something first and foremost, and then. Okay, perfect. Yeah, these parts I'm pretty sure I tackled also when I played on my own at the time. Straight Up didn't have it as a kid. So yeah, I barely played it, if at all, on emulator. So yeah, my first real attempt was on 3DS. But yeah, then didn't fully play it there while I played the remake. Okay, interestingly enough, yeah, I wasn't completely sure because that I forgot. But yeah, we straight up have a room here with looks like a door, but it actually isn't solid there. But yeah, first and foremost, we have another save station. We'll save. Thank you. I'm glad we have that. And yeah, now we want to go down here first and foremost. And to the left. And yeah, we got some music. We have a door, and yeah, it looks like it's a door that you have to use missiles on to open it. Oh boy. Okay, no. Simply an item room, luckily enough. And yeah, as you might... actually, we can see it also on screen. Nice compared to the Famicom game. Yeah, we got the bombs. But yeah, you could easily guess also by the icon. And yeah, so we have the bombs. Want to quickly check also before moving on to the next... oh yeah. Yeah, as I suspected. See that missile expansion? Yeah, this is clearly the missile expansion. So the other one I think is actually simply a way to restore missiles, the one we have seen before. But yeah, I think that I might not be doing it properly. Let me see if it's around here then. Okay, no, let me quickly check then on the part. Okay, no. It's around here, but more here. Okay, maybe right behind the statue. Or actually it was here, but I didn't notice it. Yeah, supposedly you should be able to destroy the ground here. Let me see if I can do so with, not with that. Should be with the bombs, of course. Okay, it was right there, not sure why it didn't work at first. But yeah, we got also a missile expansion, so really nice. And yeah, with that, I'll go down to move on to the next part. Okay, yeah, I have the next map ready. Okay, yeah, we start here. Well, first and foremost, even though we technically don't have to go there, I'll still save just to be completely sure and safe. Yeah, let's go up. And by the way, something that I can mention, even though it was in English, in Japanese, bomb is bomu. We see it even more so when we play other games. We'll eventually see it for sure. I'm thinking, of course, for example, from bombs in Mario. Those are called bomu hei, so more often than not read as he. He means soldier, and then bomu, of course, from bomb. And yeah, it's bomu, of course, because of course how it's written and some also pronounced in certain varieties of English, closer to O, than A. And then of course the mu, because the additional U, because the consonant can stay on its own, and then yeah, of course, because it's written bomb in English, but yeah, actually pronounced bomb without a B. And yeah, we'll save. By the way, it should be accented, but I quickly check. Okay, unfortunately can't find it here. I'll quickly look at the physical dictionary. Okay, got the physical dictionary. Yeah, since we don't, most likely won't have any Japanese writings, at least I can mention things like these throughout this series when we get such items. And we actually see the names of the even more so since we actually see the names of the items, even though in English. Bo, mu. Yeah, no, actually not present even in the physical dictionary, so yeah, unfortunately, we don't know for sure. My guess it would be accented just like in English, so on the first syllable, bomu, on the first mora, I should say, better. But yeah, so let's actually continue from here. Yeah, we still have time, so yeah, we make as much progress as possible. And yeah, now the path is from where we got the bombs, then up, and then immediately to the right. So yeah, should be here. Although I'm not sure, might have taken. Let me quickly check though. Might have gone slightly higher. No, I think that's it, but I have to remember how to do it. Or at worst, we'll check the guide. The actual guide part. Yeah, we have one of these, but yeah, that isn't what we need. Let me see if any parts here are bombable. Okay. Ah, okay, yeah. So simply a case of a fake wall. Funny enough, considering that we have seen those also in Zelda 2 earlier today in the Great Palace. But you get stuck here even if you can find it. And yeah, then you need the bombs. Okay, now I see. For that, we actually get a really good little item. And yeah, it's an energy tank. And yeah, with that we got we healed and also get of course the energy tank, so 99 more health as usual. I'll quickly check. Yeah, technically in this case, to make it just like in English, you could say energy for the word, of course, energy, just like in English. But we have the change of in a. In this case, actually, without the longer vowel, because the longer vowel is actually for the G. There's also an alternative form with also a longer A, but yeah, the more common one is actually energy with a short A and long E. As for its accent, if available, okay, yeah, the accent is just like in English on the E, so on the first mora, energy high and then everything else low. It's worth mentioning that there's also another word for energy in Japanese, and I think actually it's more common, that one, even though you might see also energy from English, which is energy with another long E at the end. And yeah, because it's actually from German, Energie, written I-E. Yeah, similar to English in how it's written, but yeah, it's the German word Energie, and yeah, the pronunciation in Japanese is quite similar. The accent for that is on the ne, which I doubt is the same in German. I think I was correct, and the accent in German would be on the E, so Energie. I might be wrong, since my knowledge of German is way more limited compared to English, Japanese, but yeah. But yeah, that's the word you see more often, and yeah, keep in mind that it's accent on the ne, so low, high, and then everything else low. I want to quickly check because I'm pretty sure there should be also well, technically there are other words for energy, actual Japanese ones, well, more often than not, strictly actually Chinese pronunciation, Chinese compounds, but let's ignore them when you want to keep it strictly as in the energy usually more for the energy source or resource or energy in physics. Yeah, you go for foreign words. Yeah, more often than not the German one, potentially also the English one. Although in this case, for example, if I don't know how it's called exactly in Japanese, we'll see it eventually, I guess, in a game, in a Metroid game that actually has it as the writings in Japanese. My guess would be if it keeps that, might be actually the English word in this case. After that, of course, we would have tanku. Tank becomes, of course, simply actually tanku. Quite easy, just like in English, without the e pronunciation, they keep it a, just like in writing. And then, of course, the additional u at the end, because there isn't k on its own. And of course, actually, if we don't add anything else, it could be pronounced as tanku, even in Japanese, with the u barely heard if at all, because the preceding consonant is unvoiced and it's at the end of the word. As for its accent, is accent on the first syllable, just the first mora, even more strictly. So yeah, just like in English, high and everything else low. But yeah, wanted to mention that since we again we that will be our learning Japanese. Me adding those. Let me quickly check the map. Okay, I think I have to go there at the end, yes, but first down. Okay, yeah. I think I know the path here. But yeah, after getting this energy tank, we'll go down here. I think these might be enemies. And that they shoot you. Currently they aren't doing so, but well, better that it's like that. Okay, yeah, they do. Yeah, I remember more of them from the remake, but yeah. There, those. Yeah, we have another door. Let's open it. And yeah, actually, another item. Let me quickly check if, well, I think most likely, yeah, it will, we'll have to pick it up for now. It's worth mentioning, yeah, as you might notice from the icon, now it's somewhat weird because of that, but yeah. Yeah, it's a beam with the eye on it. It's the ice beam, yeah, that's be, of course. Unfortunately, in this game, still the beams get replaced. You can't keep more than one. But yeah, for now we are actually picking it up. And yeah, the ice beam, as we can see on screen. And yeah, let's quickly check the words for ice beam. How you'd pronounce it in Japanese. Easy enough. First and foremost, we have Aisu, which we've actually seen, I'm pretty sure, in Kirby's Adventure. And yeah, it's simply Aisu, so yeah. Just like in English, only with the additional U at the end. accent on the first mora, first syllable even, you could say, doesn't change in this case. So high and everything else low. Could be either from ice in English or also German ice, written as E-I-S, but yeah, pronounced ice also in German. More often than not in Japanese, you see it actually as an abbreviation of aisukrimu, as mentioned also back then. Kurimu on its own accent on the ri, just like in English, of course, with the additional u at the end. And also it's a longer e, but yeah, similar to English, cream. And also the additional u for the ku, of course, for the same reason. When combined, the accent stays on the cream. So actually the aisu technically becomes unaccented because it's a compound, and yeah, you keep only the accent of the second part of the second word, in this case. Aisukurimu. By the way, the u in aisukurimu is the u for su is barely heard, if at all, because it's between unvoiced consonants. So yeah, aisukurimu. So actually, funny enough, closer to English. But yeah, here we would have simply aisu, even though when you actually speak, you hear it for an abbreviation of ice cream, of course. And then we would have beam, of course, simply bimu in Japanese, with the longer e. But yeah, that's actually technically like in English, and luckily accented on the first syllable, just like that. So yeah, bimu. High, low, low, low. Sorry, high, low, low. And yeah, so we got the ice beam. Let's continue. Like to, if possible. Okay. I'm not sure if I have to go there immediately there. Let me quickly check the part. Okay, let me quickly see if I can find it then, because there should be here. Let's be careful about these. Okay, maybe it's straight up this one. Okay, yeah, it's actually pretty easy then. Yeah, we have missile expansion. First and foremost, that we didn't mention it before, we'll do it now then. Missile is, well, just like in English, misairu. The only difference is, of course, the u at the end, because the consonant can stay on its own, and also that it becomes ru. So with the Japanese R, because Japanese doesn't have the sound L, and yeah, so it becomes the closest consonant, so Japanese R, so yeah, which is pretty close, ru, ru, ru. Actually, one of its pronunciation can actually be an L, but yeah, it's only an alternative pronunciation of the R sound in Japanese. The accent is on the sa, and yeah, so actually like in English, misairu, missile, misairu. So yeah, low, high, low, low. Yeah, expansion, honestly, I won't check it. Well, I can check it, but I have some doubts we'll even find it. as in straight up the English word. Considering that it's pretty long, yeah, no. Well, technically, I found it. It would be either ekusupansion or also an alternative form ekusupansion. So yeah, either E or U as the additional vowel for the k sound. Well, yeah, the other ones, the su, the S with the U, additional U. We don't have the E sound, so simply A, just like in writing. And then yeah, everything else, just like in English. Also the E at the start instead, so more similar to how it's written. I doubt we'll find the accent. Yeah, can find the accent there. So, and I could quickly check on the physical dictionary, but I have serious doubts. Let me see. We'll see their actual names in Japanese because I have doubts they'll be kept the same for these items. Hey SKS, nice that you used to play this on the Game Boy, Metroid II then. Really, really nice. Yeah, as I mentioned before, unfortunately I didn't have it as a kid. I barely played it, if at all, later on emulator. Definitely played it. Oh boy, I have to be careful here about these enemies. On 3DS Virtual Console, but didn't finish it back then. Yeah, funny enough, we have already another missile expansion and also one above here. This one I'm not sure if I can get. I'll quickly try it. I have the suspicion I might need some bomb jumping here. But yeah, so this will actually be, this series will be an occasion for me to finish it. Also thanks to the checking the map and the guide here, especially the map. But yeah, but on the other hand, I have played and finished the remake on 3DS. So yeah, I have still played and finished a version of Metroid II, but yeah, not this one. Okay, let me quickly check on okay, that didn't consider that. Makes sense. You can do it this way. Yeah, so I actually have also the confirmation of what I suspected. Yeah, you get hurt by blocks respawning, but in this case it can be used as a strat to actually get up here earlier. I guess it's not intentional, but yeah, it's a way to get this missile expansion now. So I will do so. Then to leave, of course, we'll have to bomb it. Yeah, we got these 3 missile expansions here. Defeat the enemy. I see a certain something on the map, but I'm not sure if I can leave from here. Yeah, no, I actually can't. So yeah, we have then to go back to the left first. And yeah, so let's do that. Up. Let's defeat these enemies. Okay. Although these parts, apart from not, I doubt I got that missile expansion back then. These are still parts that I'm pretty sure I tackled when I played on... Oh boy, yeah, as you can see, a Metroid has already changed the form here and left its shell, husk, however you want to call it. So yeah, of course, an upcoming Metroid fight. For now, it should be an easy one. Okay, I'm not sure if it spawns immediately here. Okay, let me quickly test a little something more here. Ah, okay, you fall down here. Okay, yeah, makes sense now, also considering the map. And I suspect we'll see the Metroid soon enough. Yeah, let's bomb here. Well, first and foremost, we see that. So actually, you can get that immediately. And yeah, it's the spider ball. So yeah, we got that item. I'm not sure how it... okay. Actually, I might have... Okay, yeah. I've actually seen how to activate it. Yeah, you go in morph ball, then you press down again, and yeah, that activates spider ball. Yeah, then you move on the ceiling, on walls, and everything else. But yeah, first let's quickly check also that name in Japanese. Well, actually simply the English word, but then of course with the Japanese pronunciation. First and foremost, we have spider. This one is also nice to know, considering, of course, Spider-Man, for example. And yeah, it's simply spider with a longer vowel at the end. Spider. And then, of course, the U after the su at the start, because, yeah, we don't have S on its own in Japanese, so yeah. But since it's between unvoiced consonant, it's barely heard, if at all, and so yeah, spider, spider, yeah. And yeah, as usual, the A, because sound doesn't exist in Japanese, the closest one is A, and yeah, so it becomes like that with the longer vowel in this case. As for its accent, it's not present in the online dictionary plus plugin combo. Let's quickly check if I can find it on the physical one. Although, if it isn't, we can confirm it. Yeah, I'd still guess it, just like in English, so on the pie, on the pa. Supa. Supa. Nope. Yeah, not present even there. Yeah, then, last but not least, we have ball, which becomes boru in Japanese, with a longer vowel, of course, o in this case, and then ru, because, of course, we don't have the L sound, becomes the closest one, which is the Japanese R, and then the additional u at the end, boru. Actually, I think might be, yeah, and I remember it, but I confirmed it. As we have seen in a previous series, I think Kirby's Adventure again because of the copyability, maybe also somewhere else. It's actually ball, one of those words from English that become unaccented in Japanese, so be careful. So, boru, low, high, high. And would stay high if we added a particle after it. for example, the particle width or the object particle O written as one pronounced as such in careful speech and also singing. Boru O, low, high, and also high for the particle. Yeah, so it was worth mentioning also for that. So you got an example of unvoiced, unaccented words from English. Yeah, we can go back up here. Let me quickly check a little thing. Okay, to get to the Metroid. Okay, I see the path, but I didn't want to... Okay, you know what? Despite having proper saves, we'll end the stream here, since we got to a relatively nice point anyway. Just to remember it, I'll go back to where we found the spider ball. And yeah, so here. And yeah, so I'll actually save with a save state. And yeah, so those are still nice for occasions like these ones. And yeah, so we can close the game. And yeah, so today we have finished, of course, the previous series, Zelda 2: The Adventure of Link, in the previous stream. But also started this new series, Metroid II: Return of Samus. We started the game, defeated our first Metroid, got the bombs, also a health, an energy tank, several missile expansions, and last but not least, also the ice beam, let's not forget that. But yeah, last but not least, the spider ball. And yes, so next time, which should be on Friday, unless plans change, we'll continue this game. And yeah, we'll continue after from where we got the spider ball, and yeah, we'll see what happens next. And yeah, as you might have guessed, also I kind of mentioned it, but we literally saw the Metroid shell husk. Yeah, we'll have to defeat a Metroid around here. So yeah, we'll start with that, unless there are items on the way, but we'll see. And yeah, we'll then continue from there. Okay, see you next time.